Welcome into Tribe Talk here today, and joining us is the head football coach of the Clarke Indians, Duane Matthess. And Coach, fantastic night, first and foremost. You guys jump out early and often. First victory here as the head coach of Clarke, and what a fantastic night all around. Community, players, you guys as a coaching staff, all the way around, a fantastic night. 45-0 winners over Martensdale St. Mary's.
Yeah, it's just very, very humbling to see the reaction on the kids' faces, having fun playing this game. At times last year, they did not have a lot of fun, and we tried as hard as we could as coaches to make it fun for them. But with the numbers that we had, and obviously the way the season went, that's not always easy to do. And it was just really, really satisfying to see that having fun and enjoying the sport that I love a ton. And then to see the community support. I mean, the stands were packed, and actually at the beginning of the game, I kind of said, wow, I'm surprised that it's not that big. And it seemed like as the game went on, the crowd just got bigger and bigger, and the sidelines were packed. And to see them cheering on our players just was it was just a real special moment for me. So I thank our community for coming out and supporting us, and all the credit goes to the players.
How does 1-0 sound for you guys to open up the season? You guys, it's well documented. Last year was not where you guys wanted to be by any means in your first season. Now you get to flip that script for at least 1 week and possibly more, but you're sitting here at 1-0 going into a home game.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's a tremendous feeling to be 1-0. I thought it would have happened a lot quicker to get that first one, but it would never be. It's not disappointing to have it happen now at all. I mean, these kids earned it. I mean, it's very satisfying to see them get it. I think we're going to take one game at a time. I think the one thing that our message to our kids this morning in lifting and our shakeout was, we, regardless of the score, and it was obviously, it was a large margin. It wasn't a close game, but we still have a lot of things to clean up. I mean, offensively, defensively, penalties-wise, it was not pretty at times. We can be in better shape. We need to be in better shape, and we just need to. And the kids know it. I don't have to remind them too much. They understand that the penalties that we got were kind of mental lapses. They need to lock in a little bit better, and sometimes that's harder to do when you are in a game like that last night. And our kids haven't been in that situation, so it was a different situation for them.
We'll talk to Coach Reece here in a little while, but let's talk about your side of the ball. Offensively, you guys, as an entire team, put up 45 points, and that's with a pick six in there as well as a field goal. But talk to us offensively. You had 3 different guys score touchdowns. 2 guys have multiple touchdowns throughout the night. Just overall good night offensively for the debut of the new offense.
Yeah, I think that we started out a little slow. I think we had our 3 and out and had to punt it, and we were able to hold them again defensively, which was a positive. Get the ball back, and then we were able to get a field goal, and that was nice to see. I want to just comment. I thought Brian Avalos did a fantastic job. He had 4 touchbacks for us. He averaged just under 60 yards every kickoff for us, and that's an incredible advantage for us. To be able to say 20 yards or field position wise, so that's going to be a pretty advantageous weapon for us to have this season, and so my hat's off to Brian. And the best thing about that is he's a junior. We have him for another year after this, so I can only imagine he's going to continue to get better and better. Moving on from that, though, it was offensively, we had some good runs. Riley Domina finished with 98 yards. He had 148 yards total offense when you count in the passing yards and his rushing yards. Peyton Winship didn't touch the ball a lot, but when he did, they were big plays. And that's why we have him in that position, and that's what we told him. You're not going to be the workhorse, but you're going to be the spark. Because your runs are going to go, you're going to go for big runs, and he's just and that's done on purpose. Our guys aren't 195, 230-pound running backs and, built like, huge players like you see in other schools across the state. So we got to be smart with, how we approach it to keep them healthy for, a full season.
And you look at what, you guys did on the ground. I think it was about 7 or 8 plays of 40 yards plus rushing last night. I know you had 3 rushes at least over 50 yards, 52, 54, and I believe a 50-yarder in its own right. So you guys are not only flipping the field with your kicking like you talked about with Brian Avalos, but then you guys get deep into a possession. I believe you started one drive on your own 8, and Riley flips it completely to the other side and takes it 52 yards and moves you guys in a great scoring position for that time being.
Yeah, it's sometimes when we decided to move gears a little bit to this offense that we went to, people said it's not going to be the sexiest thing, and it's when you get behind by a lot, what's going to happen, all these things, you can what if situations, but this offense has big play capabilities. Big hitters, and and it also has the ability though to nickel and dime. Because a lot of the plays, I don't know, just offhand, I think we maybe had 3 or 4 plays that were negative yardage. So that's pretty impressive in its own right. And then, moving on from that, I looked at last year, or this game last night, kind of like as a culmination of last season for us, in the sense of we were Martensdale this year, for this last season in this game. We first quarter is 3-0 at the end of the first quarter, and that's how we'd play a team tight last year for a quarter, and then for whatever reason, something would happen and it would blow up. And second quarter, this game, for instance, we scored 28 points. We scored 21 points all of last season. So, it's just a tremendous accomplishment for these kids. And, I'm just happy to be along for the ride. All the credit goes to them that they're able to, as much as, people want to say, well, hey, you put them in that position. Okay, I understand that, but I don't go out there and execute the plays. They're the ones who do that, and I'm just really proud of them.
You guys go on and win that one 45-0. You take care of business against a team like a Martensdale, and a team that we don't really see ever here. This is one of the first times, if the first time, that we've played Martensdale in football, and you guys go out and put a shutout defensively, and Coach Reece talked about it, but then putting up the points you did also had to go hand in hand with it.
Absolutely. I really meant that they were able to pitch that shutout. It's been, I think, in the mid-'80s since the last time that we've had a shutout here at Clarke, and Coach Reece said that he's never had a shutout as a varsity defensive coordinator, so I was really pleased that we were able to provide that for him. And and I think that's the difference. This year we don't have all 11 playing both ways, so offense was able to put together some drives, keep those defensive guys a little fresh on the sideline, it's we told this last year to them, we need you guys working together offense and defensively. When the defense is struggling, the offense will pick it up, vice versa. Well, and this was kind of, offense kind of struggled a little bit. We had a 3-and-out. Then we had some long runs, got 3 points, but then ended up stopping them. And so Amani Fry getting that pick six really was a spark plug to push the offense forward. And I think that really is kind of what snowballed things and got things. I think that's what really kind of just ignited us. And after that, it was like the fuse was lit, powder keg.
Big one for you guys, and now you get a short amount of time to celebrate something like this. The community, just from the short time from the end of the game to now, there's been so much support poured in to you guys from the community, and now you go into a home game coming off of a 45-0 victory. No better way to do that than to go into a home game the next week. Oh, by the way, you get to open up a brand new field.
Very excited about this. We've been waiting and talking about this since the end of last season, and now it's finally coming into fruition with the field almost being done here. I think it's supposed to finish up early this week, and the kids are so excited to get on it. I know that it's a little different than last season in the sense my phone was blowing up after last night with the congratulations, and that's great, and the kids love it. And I think that Clarke Field is going to be pretty electric this Friday, and I know our kids are excited about it. I think the stands are going to be packed after last night's performance, and the kids are pretty pumped about it. I'm fired up about it. It's giving me goosebumps talking about it right now. So 7 o'clock game time next week. So anyone in the community, hope you all can be there. I think we'll try our best to put on a good performance for you guys. But I hope people understand that it's a new week, a new opponent. Hopefully, I believe our kids will play at a high level. Hopefully they can match a performance like this last Friday night. But as long as the community's out there supporting us and being positive, I know our kids will try hard.
That's the head football coach of the Clarke Indians, Duane Matthess. Coach, thank you for taking some time joining us here, and congratulations on the 45-0 victory.
Thanks, Damon. And as always, one tribe.
We'll take a break. We'll be back. We'll talk with Taven Floyd next on Tribe Talk. Welcome back into Tribe Talk, and I'm Damon Hogeville, joined along by Taven Floyd. And Taven, it was a fantastic night on Friday night for you guys, coming out and really just laying the beat down on Martensdale St. Mary's to open up the season 45-0. Your guys' first win as a team in over a year. Talk to us about the emotions of winning that game kind of right out like that first game of the season and just coming out and putting up 45 points in the very first game of the season.
I had a pretty good feeling that we were going to do pretty good this year. It's just the fact we had the shutout that caused a lot of disbelief, but overall I was pretty happy because I thought we all performed well, and it was just a really fun game to be a part of.
Specifically for you yourself, talking with Coach here before, he mentioned a lot about your guys' leadership on the defensive side of the ball, especially yours at middle backer, and really taking control of what the defense is running and kind of setting everyone in that position and that standpoint. Talk to us a little bit about that game and kind of what was going through your mind as the plays were progressing throughout the night.
I was just mostly thinking what I need to do and how to get my job done, because I have faith in the rest of my team that they know what they're doing. So I figured as long as I get what I need to get done, the rest of my team will come, they'll do what they need to do. And I think we did a pretty good job as working as a team and a whole unit, and that's what really got everything done and put together.
First shutout for Clarke in almost 30 years, if not longer. And you guys come out and did it on Friday, and you were able to take care of Martensdale St. Mary's, a team that we don't normally face. So it kind of poses a challenge just that way, especially when you guys are on the defensive side of the ball. You're not sure exactly what you're going to see. What kind of adjustments did you guys make throughout the game that really set you up for continuing the shutout?
They had a lot of this ISO play kind of stuff, which really singles out linebackers, but it just kind of motivated me that I need to hit my holes and everything, and once I did that, it was just easy peasy from there.
For you guys as an entire team, where does this stand as far as momentum builder going on into the year, confidence builder? Obviously, 45 points and scoring 20 points all of last year, and putting up 45 in one game's got to be a nice thing.
It's pretty huge for us. I think that because of this, we're all going to be a lot more confident in everything. We're going to be a lot more. We're going to believe in our teammates a lot more. We're going to understand. I think a lot of that came from just us having a lot of team bonding this year and coming together a lot better than we have in the past.
And I have had the opportunity to talk with Coach throughout the summer and then throughout the fall practices, and he says your guys' team chemistry has really gotten a lot better throughout the year just on things that you guys have done and setting up these team bondings like you talk about. Where do you think that is going to come into play throughout the season? Obviously, it showed in night number 1 what you guys could do with it.
Well, when you have a strong bond as a team, it creates a lot of trust, and when you have that trust, it lets you know that everyone's doing their jobs and everything, and when you can rely on your team, it lets you know that you can do your job, and when everyone does their own job, everyone just comes together, and it all just works perfectly.
As you guys go on into this next week of practice and then go on into next week's ball game, looking forward, obviously you get about 24 hours or so to celebrate a win like this, and a big one for the school and for the community, really. But then next week's another big one. You guys turn around and open up the brand new field and take on Nottoway Valley right here on the home turf.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the new turf and all. But Nottoway's coming in. They were 0-1, but I know they got a chip on their shoulder and they got something to prove. And I mean, if I were them, I'd love to beat someone on their brand new field. So I think we really just have to be prepared mentally, and cause that's one of our biggest problems is our mental game with all those penalties and just that lack of discipline. But I think this coming week we're gonna really focus on that, and I think we can take home another win.
Taven, thank you for taking a little bit of time this morning and talking with us. Obviously, it was a special night for all of you guys, and really had a fantastic night.
Thanks.
That's Taven Floyd, middle linebacker for the Clarke Indians. Welcome back into Tribe Talk here, and talking with us now is Peyton Winship. And Peyton, it's a good day, obviously, to be an Indian now as you guys come out 45-0 winners over Martensdale St. Mary's, and you played a big-time role in this, really, for the team. You really had a fantastic night, offensively especially. I believe you guys amassed 380 yards rushing in the night for 406 total yards offensively. So, fantastic night. Talk to us a little bit about the night and the emotions of the night.
It was more dependent on how our line was going. We did make a couple of mistakes, but every time that we corrected that mistake, it was just big gainage, and most of the time the defense seemed like they weren't confident, I want to say. But other than that, I felt like we played really good, and I was really proud.
Offensively, you guys ripped off runs of 52, 54, 50 yards, and plus in some different running opportunities in that ball game. I believe there was 8 runs of 40 yards plus in that game, and you talk about it there with your offensive line, kind of giving them a little bit of credit, and rightfully so, but you guys finding the holes as a running back unit and backfield, really. You guys finding the holes really kind of helped that out.
Yeah, yeah.
As you guys go now, looking forward here, and obviously you specifically had a fantastic night. We'll just start there. 2 touchdowns specifically for you, and I'm guessing over 150 some yards of rushing, because you had a couple of big runs yourself and really looked out strong out there. Talk to us a little bit, and where did you see the game lie as the night went on? Where were you kind of setting at mentality-wise as the night went on and you were looking at different things come about, especially what their defense was kind of giving you guys?
I was honestly picturing myself in practice. I really just, every time I'm in practice, I have my mindset of, like, scoring that touchdown, of going big yardage. And it really, like, I always had that mentality. And I know that some of my teammates did too. But I know our team wanted it more just by the way the game went on. It just felt really good going on and on with the big yardage and having the coach actually trust in me with the big yardage.
And talk to us about the different emotions of the games, the highs and the low of that game specifically. Obviously, the high putting up point after point after point throughout the night, and then really finding your guys' steam throughout the night. And really it started after Amani's pick 6, and then you guys started to light up the scoreboard right after that.
Yeah, I was super stoked after he got that pick 6, and I thought everybody was fired up after that. And then when Brian kicked the field goal, we were all just hyped, and whenever after that for the kickoff, punted in the end zone, it's the loudest I've ever heard our crowd go.
Yeah, that's big to know that you've got community support. And what does a win like this, 45-0 against a team that's just up the road, what does a win like this do for you guys and the community support that's behind it?
I'm really hoping it would be more like have more people come to our games and support us, because I know in the past we haven't really had that big of crowds. So I'm hoping that we get more and more people out in the stands and supporting us, and actually for us to show them what it's like for more wins.
For you being a senior as well and looking at the big picture of things, this is your first win in over a year. First win since dating clear back to middle of 2016, really. And here you guys sit with a 1-0 record for the first time in a long time. And you guys go 1-0 on into the next week's game. For you being a senior, what does a win like this do for you guys' mentality to move forward?
I think it really just pushes us to even go harder in practice, for us to actually want to go higher than that. We want to keep on building our relationships together in order to have bigger plays to happen, and so it won't be as hard on ourselves.
Next week's a big one as well. I was talking with Taven about this too. He said, you get about 24 hours to celebrate something like this, and it's a big one to celebrate, but nonetheless, you get that time, and then it's time to lock in on your next opponent, who happens to be Nottoway Valley, who just happens to be coming to town as you guys open up the brand new field. Talk to us about what the emotions of that night's going to be like come Friday, and all the work that you guys are going to have to put in up to that point.
I'm really hoping it's more for the it's our mentality for our linemen to work harder and harder for what we can and what we should be able to get out of this game. I really think that just having a new turf would bring more people in, and just getting our first W on it would make the world to everybody.
Peyton, thank you for taking some time. Congratulations on a great game.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Peyton Winship, that is running back Peyton Winship for the Clarke Indians. Welcome back into Tribe Talk, and joining us now is the defensive coordinator for the Clarke Indians. It's Brian Reece, and Coach, what a great night for your defense. You come out and really lay the lumber early and often in the game. Started right away with that pick six by Amani Fry, and then from that point on, you guys gained control, had control, and never gave it up.
Yeah, we always want to try to set the tone for the game. That's one of the things I always talk to our kids about is we can go out and hit guys hard and set that tone. So the first series was a little rough for us. I think there's some confidence issues going on. It's been a while. Mm-hmm. And so for us to go out there and then come back and get that stop on fourth down and get some offensive success the next drive, and then come back on defense and get that pick six, I think that really got us going as a team and gave us that confidence.
When you go and have the opportunity to look back at the game, where specifically do you start seeing that confidence gain throughout the night? Obviously, that pick six really helped, but throughout the night, where do you see the confidence, especially in those younger guys that were out there that don't have that much experience?
Well, they had a 1,000-yard back coming back from last year, and we knew that was going to be their focus of their offense. We knew that we would have to stop him. If we didn't, it was going to be a long night. So when we started hitting him and he started kind of slowing down a little bit, I think our guys saw that. They started, some of their younger kids started reaching over and bending over, and you see that, you feel that as a player, and that gives you more confidence, and we see it as a coach and try to instill that with our kids then.
And you look at this game as a whole and start looking back at the different momentum swings that you guys had. But the one thing that stands out to me is, it's night number one, and neither team has played each other for a very long time, if ever at all. And you don't know what's going on between either sides. For a defense to pitch a shutout in night number one anywhere, let alone a team that you guys don't know very well, that's impressive in its own right.
Yeah, we really didn't have any film on them, so we just kind of had to go kind of what we thought they might be running. I know that their head coach was, he coached me in high school, so I know him a little bit, and he's a good guy. He's going to do some good things there, hopefully, for them, their program. But, so yeah, I mean, it's, we played a lot of base, kind of vanilla stuff. I brought some pressure from different areas that I thought, could help some of our younger guys actually get going too. Mm-hmm. We have some guys that maybe they're not as confident reading, or our guys that are older and maybe are in new positions, if they don't have to read as much, don't have to think as much, and just can go and react. So I tried to give some pressures to do that, and worked out for us.
You had a lot of younger guys step up, make some big time plays. I know we were just talking about that fourth down drive early in the ball game, very first drive, I believe, and that pressure from the backside from Casey to kind of drive them out of bounds and really end that drive for them, and that's kind of what sparked the offensive success that time. And right after that, here comes Amani with that pick six.
Yeah, our DNs, when they were on their game, there was a couple times they lost contain, but when they were doing a good job of stringing those plays out, that's really where we had our greatest success, because we were getting some good pressure up the gut with our nose and our tackle. A couple young guys, freshman, sophomore, for the most part of that game. So for our ends to string it out and our overhangs to be able to get out there and make those plays, that's kind of when our defense works. So it worked the way it's theoretically drawn up. So we'd like to see, hopefully moving forward it can continue to do that. But that's what we think we can get out of that defense.
As you go and now sit back and kind of look at what was really accomplished as a big picture as a whole there, obviously you got to be impressed first of all, but then just be proud and happy with where you guys were as of scrimmage week to where you guys came all week last week, and now here you sit on Friday 45-0 winners and go into a big game with Nottoway Valley on the brand new home turf.
Oh yeah, and our kids are going to be they were going to be super stoked to get on that turf anyway. But for us to come in off of that 45-0 victory, I think the challenge for us as a coaching staff this week is going to be to try to rein in some of that, so we don't burn out in the first quarter. Not that we're going to have a ton of press clippings out there, but our guys need to, kind of be humble. That's one of our covenants, is be humble. So this definitely, but the excitement's going to be there. There's a lot of excitement around the program right now, rightfully so. As an alum, I'm excited. I know we've been as a program, to get a shutout is a big deal for us. Put that number of points on the board is a big deal for us. So yeah, we're pretty excited right now.
Absolutely, and have a lot of reasons to be. And you mentioned it there, being an alum yourself, and looking back through the books, it really didn't happen until the last time when you were playing. I mean, the last shutout was probably clear back then, and maybe even before.
Yeah, I mean, I know in '87 we had one. We beat Perry 34-0. We saw it we went to the trophy case when we got home and looked it up, because our playoff team in '87 and then our '89 team that was conference champions both had plaques in the trophy case. So I checked all the scores. My senior year was '89 actually. Well, it was '89-90 year, and we didn't have any shutouts. We had a lot of single digits. Mm-hmm. I'd like to give our team a plug, because we have pretty good defense. But that my sophomore year, the year we went undefeated in the regular season, they had a shutout. So as far as we know, I know we haven't had one at all since I've been DC. Mm-hmm. So this is the first one we've had under my leadership at defensive coordinator, and I was pretty excited about it. Pretty proud of our guys. They worked hard for it.
When you go through that game and you give up that drive early, that very first drive, they're marching down the field, have a couple of big plays, then you get that stop. What adjustments did you guys make throughout that game to really hone in on that side of the ball and really go and attack from that point on?
The one thing they were really hurting us with it early in the game is they were sneaking their fullback out into the flats on pass plays, and they were hitting him. And so, we sort of have a plan for that. Our overhangs were kind of fuzzy on what the plan was, I guess, is a polite way to say that. So we politely reminded them of what the game plan was, and we did a better job the rest of that game of covering those flats. And they had more passing yards against us than they did rushing yards. So, and our guys need to understand there's going to be some teams that look at that, and they're going to look to attack us there if we're really strong in the front eight. So
you go into next week's game now, and obviously you'll have time to take a look at some film here through the weekend and then through the start of the week. But when you look at this game and take a look back, where you think you guys are going to have to adjust come Nottoway Valley on Friday?
Well, at this point, I'm not even sure what Nottoway runs offensively, so it's really hard to say adjustments-wise. If they're a little more wide open. I mean, Martensdale's running I formation, and really I formation can be a good offense, but it's an easy one to prepare for. You really don't have to make too many adjustments. It's when we play those teams later in the year that are coming with 3 and 4 and 5 wide and spreading us out, that it becomes a little bit more of an adjustment game and a shell game. So I hope I'll get a good chance to look at them and see where they are. I think the big thing for us is we're probably going to shuffle some guys. Maybe for us is shuffle them throughout the D-line a little bit more, so our guys are fresher. We have some depth along that D-line, which we haven't had in the past, which is a very nice thing to have. We were able to get some guys some blows that were playing both ways, so it's nice. It's a good luxury to have.
And now you go into this game now with Nottoway Valley. You come off of a win like this, and talking to the two guys we did and said, got about 24 hours to celebrate something like this, and then it's time to buckle up and move on. And what a way to open up the home season with a 45-0 win. You guys get to come home to that. And then you get to come home to a brand new turf that a lot of people, including myself, are excited to see, looking forward to seeing the finished product, and then eventually you guys out there on it.
Absolutely, and I've purposely myself only gone down to the field once, and that's when they laid out the first roll, because I kind of want it to just be the experience of when I walk onto it. but I know a lot of our guys have gone and checked it out. And I drive by it every day after practice and looking. It's looking great, and it's going to be sharp, and our guys are going to be super excited about it. And as a coaching staff, as a community, I think we should be. It's something we should take pride in when our facilities, are top notch or first class. That's it makes it just lifts the community. It lifts the spirit, and it says what we care about kids. We care about the athletics. We care about academics, because it's it's not just for a football team. It's going to be for as plug as an assistant soccer coach for a soccer team. It's for our band. It's for our ultimate frisbee team. If we start that club, that kind of it's just the kids are going to get use out of it. So we're excited about it, and hopefully you can have a victory to christen it.
Coach, thank you for taking some time with us today, and obviously congratulations on your own right for your defense pitching a shutout.
Thanks, I appreciate it for having me on.
Defensive coordinator of the Clarke Indians, it's Brian Reece.